We're back in the kitchen with Chef Bill, and now we're making candy apples. We already made caramels, which are almost gone.
We got just a couple are left.
She had a lot of caramel.
But everything today, including these great apples, everything came from Whole Foods in Hadley. So that's where all the foods came from.
Well, thanks to them.
Yes, absolutely. And we have also now going to jump into the candy apples. Now you can buy sticks, you can buy paperish ones, you can buy these bamboo ones. If you want to save your popsicle sticks from the summer and really lick off all the popsicle stuff, that's entirely up to you.
You can do it s'more style, go out into the woods before it gets too snowy out there and shave your own down.
Yes, and by that time you'll be, I don't know, out of apple season.
That's a good point.
And one of the great things about candy apples is it takes something that from nature that is one of the healthiest foods around and we turn it into candy.
And ruins it.
Or we improve it.
Or improves it.
And so that's a great thing. And you can use whatever kind of apple you like, as long as it's a firm apple. And the other thing before you dip them into the candy is you want to make sure that you wipe them clean. And some apples come with a wax on them. Make sure you rinse these off in warm water to get the wax off.
Now, do you know if the wax is from, if it's for supermarkets and they use it to make it glossy, or is it just found naturally in the apple?
I'm going to make that one up because I've never seen a naturally waxy apple.
Okay.
So I think it's probably for transportation, which is why, local is, they don't
the way
have
to
to
go.
travel as far. So, but I haven't encountered a waxy apple, but it's just something in a long time. So it's just something to make sure you take care of. But
What kind of apples are these?
these are Macoons.
Macoons.
Oh, that was a trick question. It took me a moment
Sorry.
because I've been doing a lot of apples the last few days. So what did I go with these?
There's a lot of varieties.
There are, and usually my favorite apple is a Golden Delicious, but for this, red apples I think are better for the visual.
Oh, yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to take one of these sticks and really just put it, almost all the way down. Remove the stems if there are any in there. This apple is cut guide, so will this. And what we've done is I have some food coloring in here. It keeps getting darker because I've had this on the heat for a while. And really, all you do is you roll the apple around.
And this can be the caramel that you made earlier, or if you get your own, you melt it down.
Well, actually, they're two different things because you mentioned the caramel from earlier. And there's a difference between a caramel apple and a candy apple.
Oh.
And these are candy apples. And I went with these. Well, I went with these because, before I tell you in a moment, you just want to drip off as much of the excess as you can so it doesn't sit in a complete base. But so let it just hang it over the pot for a minute. Difference between a candy apple and a caramel apple. Caramel apples have the chewiness of caramel, and so that's where you use the cream and the butter in there, and it dries like that. 'Cause it's a very thin coating, so it'll dry quickly and harden up quickly. Candy apples don't have the butter or the cream in it. You call it healthier, but it's more of a toffee, crunchy outside.
Right.
And so see, I've got this nice little stream of candy there.
Which must be great to clean off countertops, I imagine.
Oh, it's great to clean up the pot too. Actually, for cleaning up the pot, boil water in there because otherwise you need a chisel or dynamite to clean the sugar out of the pot. So
right, boil water, okay.
So now in this case, you'll see this is darker. I put a little more food coloring in here. There are all kinds of natural and unnatural food colors, so whatever you prefer. And so that's darker. That I went with very little, or you can go with none at all. The flavor is just going to be terrific. And
Now, could you do blue, green? Could you go crazy with colors?
yes, and the kids would love that. I mean, absolutely. When you do that with your kids and you've got all kinds of crazy colors, absolutely. So you can go with any color you want. I'm going to take this out of here. It's not ready because this is cooling. So I'm going to put it back in the heat.
But that's just, it's rustic, it's artisanal, it's beautiful.
I like the way you said that.
Yeah.
So
That's for those that just want half the candy.
half the candy.
That's
More
like me.
apple.
I would just want a little bit of candy, mostly apple.
But
Perfect.
exactly, and it's such a great way to go because it's such a family tradition. I mean, making your own candy apples. Of course, it's a bummer you go to somebody's door and they hand you a candy apple for Halloween. But when you really want the caramels, but it's just such a great family tradition, and you get the crunch of the candy on the outside. It looks great. That just says New England to me.
Right?
It
This is fall
does.
right here.
It is, and these are ready to go. And you can see,
Oh, yeah.
and so that's a nice crunchy. So if you, I don't know if
That's
you
a
want
nice trip to the doctor.
if you want to risk your
Look at
teeth on
this.
that, isn't that great?
Look like a golf ball hit a windshield. I wonder if we get a shot of that. That's amazing.
I haven't heard my food
heavy.
compared to a golf ball hitting a windshield before, but that's gonna
Only in appearance and
only
and
mass appeal can do that. See, that's why you want it thin because there's no way you can bite through that, and so you take all the you let extras drip off. And that's why it's thin, so you can put your teeth through it. Whereas if you just took a whole hunk, it would just never come off.
You know what? Someone once told me you cut it so that you can, have it
Oh, well, you
Don't
can
eat
do
it
that.
like,
Well,
but
you know, you
just-
can do that. I mean, it's a different look, but you see, this is kind of the classic look. But
Oh,
if you were to
cut it up.
cut it in half, or even cut it in quarters, and then put, oh,
Can we try?
please do.
I'll let you
All right,
two
Bill,
do it.
we'll
but
be
there's
back.
one more sweet and easy treat to go. It's chocolate bark. Stay tuned for that. We might need to wear protective eyewear.